Welcome. So this is actually nearly our last masterclass of the year. As Sarah said, we're going to do them every quarter, and I can be totally led by you guys. So what you should always think is if you have clients ask questions that you don't know the answers to, or if there's anything you're worried about, and it can be product, but it can also be treatment. Like I have got my bed, I can bring it closer. We can always look at treatment elements as well. I know you've got Brit leading the way, so you're normally pretty strong in those, but I am here to help. However, first thing I always do is a little bit of a brand refresh and recap. So some of you might, we've got a Palace Fajira, by the way, Sarah. Some of you might have heard me say it before, but I think it's really important because when you work in properties that have got multiple different brands in the building, or even if it's just Proverb, what you always need is a really easy way to explain it to a guest if they haven't seen it. Now, remember that Proverb is a young brand. We are quite a new spa brand. So there is a good chance that they haven't seen it before they get to you. So you're showing them something unique and can do that in a really positive way. So if you have your pens, we're going to go through a few of the things that I would always say to people. So remember that we always have the triangles on the bottles of Proverb. And those 3 points represent 3 different things. So I would always say Proverb is being made for people who care, number 1, about their health. So health is first. Number 2 is their performance. And number 3 is the environment. So that triangle has health, performance, and environment in it. We are utterly driven by what ingredients go in that bottle, those bottles, and how they impact somebody's health. So we have to use things that we know that if they do get inside someone and could end up in their bloodstream. Remember, some element of beauty ingredients can do that, not everything. Like your skin is meant to barrier and protect you, but obviously some of it does go in. If it is in their bloodstream, is their body going to happily accept it? Because with a lot of beauty ingredients, that doesn't happen. And then you get a negative impact on your hormonal system and your performance, whether that's just how happy you feel, how easy it is to get out of bed in the morning, or how quick you are when you do the Dubai Marathon. And the last thing always for us is the environmental impact. How can we reduce packaging and be getting people to reduce packaging at home as well? Because none of us can be healthy if we have no planet to do it on. So for your client, you're saying Proverb's made for people that care about their health, performance, environment. It's completely vegan. So if you write vegan, the ingredients have to be natural or organic. So natural and organic. And we will have different percentages in the bottles, some that are natural and some that are organic, but they have to be either natural or organic in organic grown soil. Everything's made in England. We have very, very high quality standards here and in the EU, so that is always a good thing for a cosmetic. And I would say to them that the brand is born from elite sport. It's born from professional rugby and then influences from other professional sports. So that when I made the bottles, I was looking at all the diet sheets of professional athletes and elements that they had to eat and drink and things that they are not allowed to eat and drink, and made sure that the combination went into the bottle. So that when you read the ingredient list, they sound like your morning smoothie. They sound like a NutriBullet. So on your pieces of paper, we should have vegan, made in England, ingredients from professional sports nutrition. And then also we were very, very set that we then had to do clinical trials and testing with those ingredients, because we didn't just want people to be healthy on the inside, we want it to work on their skin as well. So slightly more detail happens when you go into the facial world. So I know a lot of you are just body sites, but when you do the facial product knowledge, you'll start to see a lot more of the clinical trial data in those as well. And then for treatments, you're explaining to them that we take the world of assisted stretch and sports physiotherapy and then blend that with spa massage. Now, when we are blending that with spa massage, what we end up with is that a lot of you are doing body treatments with Proverb and using the body oils. And so we want to focus today on the oils, because what I want you to remember, we are all completely used to oil. In fact, we're pretty immune to oil. To us, you pour it in your hands, it's something that you slide around the body with. Also, when you have a guest that has lots of massage, they can start to feel that way as well. And what we've really got to realize is that your Proverb oils are not just oil. And we need to tell them that, and we need to think about them differently, because when you're using a very, very elite oil, the guest should know about it. So many spas, and you'll have worked in them, behind the scenes, you know, we're just putting the cheapest grapeseed or the cheapest almond oil and then going out and charging $200 for a massage when it's cost virtually nothing with the oil. We're not doing that. We're doing the opposite. So we need to tell them why it is different. And for us to understand it, I want to teach you first about how oils are made, basically, how they're actually produced. So I'm just going to share our screen. Okay, you should be able to see it and me in a little circle. Is that right?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, so there are two real ways of producing oil. And this is both for cooking and for the spa industry. Cold pressed or refined. Let's start with refined oils first. So a refined oil is what most of them are that you have ever used before. So they are mass produced, they get chemically altered, and they become very nutrient poor. So what happens is, let's say it's apricot oil. So they will take the seeds and they crush them, but they then treat them with a solvent, which is normally a not very nice solvent called hexane, which comes from the petroleum industry. They then have to heat them to be really, really, really hot. So often heated to about 270 degrees. Now, if you were cooking in your kitchen and took a carrot and cooked it to 270 degrees, would there be anything worth eating left inside it? Probably not, okay? Now, when they use that high level of heat, it destroys all the antioxidants, it destroys the vitamins that were inside it. Not content with having done that, they take it a step further. Because a real seed oil is normally quite orange in color, it can be yellow, orange, red even sometimes, they think that we humans don't like those colors or the differences in colors, and they want it all to be stable and one color. So they actually bleach them. So they bleach the oil and deodorize it so it becomes incredibly neutral. And so much of the oil that you will have ever used in spas is treated like this. High heat, bleached, deodorized so that you can't smell anything. The result being that they get a very long shelf life. they produce as much as they can. So they get much bigger yields, much bigger volumes, which will make it cheaper. And that's why you can buy some very cheap massage oils. But you have zero nutritional value left in there. And obviously for Proverb, when everything about the brand is about skin health and feeding the body, it just doesn't make any sense to us. So we will never use a refined seed oil. What we will do is cold press those oils. So it's basically the complete opposite. So if you write cold pressing, there is no high heat added. So normally it's an actual mechanical press that will be pressing the seeds. So they will get a little bit hotter because they're being squashed, but normally doesn't go above about 49 degrees. They will then be filtered through a sieve. So some of the big pieces, the particles come out, but it keeps its natural color and it keeps its natural scent. And most importantly, it keeps the vitamins and antioxidants that were inside it. It is much fresher, so you have to look after it more. You need to make sure that you don't overheat it. You don't want it near windows in the UAE heat. It needs to be in a cool, dark place, so always in cupboards away from direct sunlight. Because what you'll get is you get an oil that is really rich in the nutrients that were meant to be there. So it's much better at supporting healing. It's much better at protecting the the acid mantle balance. And it really represents the tagline of Proverb, which is you get out what you put in. You will get a slightly higher cost. So just know that you are using more expensive oils, but alongside the product house, we've worked really hard because we're producing so much at once of making sure that even though you have the most elite oil, it's still possibly cheaper than some of other spa brands you've worked with where they're maybe still not using such a high quality oil. The shelf life will be a bit shorter, but it is not too short. You've still got at least, when we make them, they have at least 24 months on them. And we always suggest that once a bottle is open, that you try and use it within 6 months. Now, why does it matter to you and your client that it is cold pressed? Okay, so we know the skin's the largest organ and it can absorb some of the ingredients you put on it. So whatever has the potential to go inside your body, you want it to be the best. But also, how I began explaining this at the beginning, you want to change your mindset that you are not just giving a massage. You are giving a massage, you're impacting the muscles and the fascia and all the tissues, but you're also feeding the skin. And it gives you here just a little quick analogy for guests where it explains that a refined oil is like a fast food, like a McDonald's, cheap, convenient, stripped of nutrients, whereas your cold pressed or your Proverb oils, think of them like a fresh pressed juice, vibrant, nourishing and alive. Okay, so we need to know that refined is heated, it's deodorized, it's bleached. Cold pressed does not have that heat and does not have any deodorizing or other elements popped into it. Okay. So some key things to know about all your Proverb massage oils. If you write on your paper, the first thing is that they are 100% organic. It is much easier to make oil 100% organic than it is to make cream. So as soon as you get to moisturisers, where we want some water in there, remember the water is natural, water is not organic. Whereas in the body oils, everything can be organically grown. So that means on soil that has not had any pesticides, any fertilizers, any herbicides. And so when the plant or the tree or the bush grows, then there is nothing coming up from the soil that will contaminate the plant or the herb or the seed, so that they are purer. Okay. And we're going to have a little think about the 3 base oils for your massage oils. So depending on the property, you will have a different number. Proverb has 4 massage oils in total. Some of you have all 4, some of you might have 3. But what is important is that the base, the carrier oils, the seed oils, are the same in all of those. So we're going to learn those first. So if you write on your paper, your first one is apricot. We love apricot, and I remember A for apricot because it has got it's got a really high percentage of vitamin A. The vitamin A coming out the apricot. And vitamin A, we will know from Facial World, we want it for elasticity, we want it for suppleness. It is great for aging in the skin. So we've got vitamin A coming out of apricot. You then have a lot of vitamin E, so vitamin E coming from the organic sunflower. Vitamin E is great for calming skin, irritation. So if someone's irritated or got sunburn or suffering from like seasonal allergies, it's also very good for menopausal skin. And then the last one of the 3 is jojoba. And we've chosen jojoba because it is the closest mimic to sebum. So your skin recognizes it like it recognizes sebum. And it means that it's really, really good for an aging skin where they're lacking in sebum, that sebum production has decreased, and they need more to make sure that their lipid barrier stays intact. Or an oily skin where the sebaceous glands are producing too much sebum, and because we're putting the jojoba there and tricking the skin that there's already some sebum there, it calms the sebaceous glands a little, and they go, okay, I won't make any more right now, to try and reduce that overproduction. So it's a very balancing skin to both young and older skins. So you've got apricot, sunflower, jojoba. I'm just going to come back to me for a second. So I want you to remember apricot, sunflower, jojoba, vitamin A coming out of the apricot, lots of vitamin E coming out of the sunflower, and the sebum mimicking coming out of the jojoba. And once we know that, then when you arrive and you greet your guest and you're walking towards the treatment room, your talk track, the thing you should say, should change. So you will do all the normal things, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Abigail, I'm your therapist today. You'll be having the 90-minute massage. And then what I would add in is I would say, we'll be using Proverb 100% organic oils. These oils are bioactive. They're very rich in vitamin A and vitamin E, so that while my hands are working on your muscles and your tension and your stress, we will also be doing a treatment that oils will be nourishing and feeding your skin. So I've told them that 2 things are going to happen to them when they're on the bed. I've told them they're going to get some magic out of my hands and arms and elbows, and that they're going to get some magic out of the bottle. And it's really, really important, because otherwise they just totally ignore your oil and think it's just something that has to be there. And you just totally ignore the oil and think it's something that has to be there. But if you've already helped them understand that the oil is really helping their skin, it's also much easier to then lead them into a retail area afterwards and introduce the oils as a retail option. Now, this is my little spoiler coming in. So some of you have one oil for retail already. I think probably most of you do the Body Focus oil, but very soon you are going to have all 4 available for retail. So Sarah will be in charge, obviously, of telling you as soon as they are launched. But while you're here, I did want to show you. So the plan is they have all ready in the same Body Focus oil glass. So they look the same, but each one will have a different color relating to whether it is longevity, defense, performance, or recovery. So you can have all 4 in the 100 ml glass. And also, alongside the product house, obviously we're always looking for ways to make Proverb more sustainable. And between us as a team, our decision was that we wouldn't bring them out in a box because people just throw the box away, but they will be coming in a completely organic cotton bag. They'll have their own tag, obviously, explaining which oil they are with the details behind. And then what will happen, obviously, they can take their oil out and use it. And then this can be used for something else in their life, because they are not going to throw this away. Not only is it a very nice little bag that's very useful for other things, it is also got certified organic cotton. Okay, so this cotton has been grown organically and produced organically, because remember, cotton is normally one of the dirtiest crops. Well, it is basically the dirtiest crop there is. It has normally a horrendous amount of pesticide and chemical use to produce the amount of cotton that we need. So you guys are the first to see this. You can tell the others. So you're going to have 4 Body Focus oils for retail very, very soon. Perfect. Okay, so let's think about those 4 and think about the different scents within them. I will pop back to our screen again. Okay, so we have 4 aromas. You will know, particularly those of you that the addresses, which ones you have and don't have. But let's have a little revision of what is inside them. So defense is the first one. This is Proverb's signature scent. So this is the scent that you will find most in Proverb. We have it in our deodorant. All of the amenities are in this scent. You get it in the body oil you've already got at retail. It's the original scent. It is wild mint, eucalyptus, geranium, and lavender. And defense, if you write on your list, defense is for anyone that needs clarity of mind. So if you just feel foggy, you feel like you're so misted in your head, you don't know what to focus on. Defense is to help you focus the mind. It's also a very nice decongestion. So if you have been struggling with a cough or a cold or the flu, then defense is a good one for someone who has not felt well. So we always link defense to the sentence, I can't stay well. You then have recovery. So recovery is the total opposite scale to defense. Recovery is the most delicate. of all of the aromas. And it has the essential oils of rose geranium, rose, lavender, and ylang ylang. It's a very gentle rose geranium scent. It's amazing to help sleep. So we always link recovery to the sentence, I can't sleep. It's very, very calming for the skin, but also for the mind. And it's our best oil for sensitive skins, anyone that's irritated, for a younger skin that might not been exposed to many products yet. And we'll also happily use this in pregnancy. On your notes, if you put performance next, performance is the spicy oil. So it is ginger, black pepper, and frankincense. So it is the more warming oil. So if you write warming, so it would make sense to use performance for things like a sports massage, or if it's ever cold, wherever you are. It's very good for pre and post training as well. So linking this to sport. So for a deep tissue sports massage, we will tend to use performance or defense. They are our two go-tos when we know we need a deeper or post-training massage, performance or defense. And then the last one is longevity, which is your sweet orange. So sweet orange, bergamot, ylang ylang, and patchouli. And this is the one that smells like you're escaping to the islands of Indonesia. And we link this one to stress, to distressing. So we always link the sentence, I'm stressed. So if someone wants to fix stress, we'll pick longevity. If someone has too much to do, we'll pick performance. If someone can't sleep, we'll pick recovery. And if someone can't stay well, we'll pick defense. You definitely want to learn the essential oil blends and the benefits of these, particularly when you've got the new retail oils, because you'll need to help people. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll put in an extra little session, an extra masterclass when the retail oils launch, for me to go through and explain those in a bit more detail for you. So when they launch, there will be another masterclass that comes with those. Okay, so far then, what we've thought about is we've thought about Proverb as a brand as a whole. We've talked about the beauty industry and how it produces oil, whether they're cold pressed or whether they're refined. We absolutely know we want cold pressed. Not only that, we've then looked at the Proverb oils and gone, these are also 100% organic. So they're grown on the best soil. So you've got the best soil, and then when they're picked, they're also cold pressed. So you have like the elite of the elite happening. And remember that all your essential oils in there will be organic also. Perfect. So hopefully we've got our notes on that. What I want to do now is just talk to you about superfood oil. Now, for some of you, this one is new, so you might not have it. Anyone, Syra, Yasmin, I know you do, so you will have it. But if your property doesn't have it, I still want you to learn about this, because I want to explain how it can be useful to you. So as a side heading, if you put oil 5 and put a note to yourself whether you know that you have this one or don't have this one in your building. Okay, and this one is called Elite Superfood. Now, bear with me, I'm just going to find him. Going through these pages. Aha. Here we are, superfood. So on your notes, can you write that you can have superfood in a professional size, but we are also about to launch it for retail. But I want to explain what superfood is and how it can be very helpful in the spa. So it's elite superfood. It's called a Pro Age facial oil. So we do use it predominantly as a facial oil. However, it can go on the body. And it is our only oil that doesn't have any fragrance. So if you put unfragranced, and I always think it is very, very helpful to have an unfragranced option in the building. One, someone might have lots of allergies. They might have really sensitive, irritated skin. Sometimes when people are pregnant, you might just want to steer clear of any fragrance and make it plain. Or if they have not been feeling well and they just don't want any scent. And some people just prefer not having scent. So on your notes, if you put superfood, no scent. Now, the other oils we talked about have apricot, sunflower, and jojoba as the base, and then they have the essential oils. Now, superfood is quite different. It has 21 natural organic ingredients inside it. 21 seed oils, essentially seed, plant, herb oils. It has an incredible ingredient list inside it. So I will, on the screen, you'll be able to see some just next to me, where we have chia inside it, we have blackcurrant, carrot seed, broccoli, pomegranate seed, radish seed, avocado oil, borage, banana flour, olive squalene, coconut oil, rapeseed, cucumber. It is an endless list. It is a really fascinating oil. And I definitely suggest that you have some so that you can use it in facials and that you've got an unfragranced option for the body. It is what we call our fragrance-free wonder oil. So it's been built to really help with smoothing the skin and fine lines, but also to help any dry patches or anything that's itchy or irritated. It can go into the scalp, it can go into the beard, and it's also really lovely on the lips. So if you're doing a facial and you want a lip conditioning, then I would pop some of this onto the lips as well. So it exists for a spa as the trolley and the big refills. And then very, very shortly, you'll be seeing it for retail. And it's going to be such a good retail product. The spa therapists have been begging for it. They think they can sell it. So it'll be retailing and also in its own zipper bag. So we're giving you more of the secrets of the things that are coming soon. But just know, for the sites that don't have it, that there is this 5th oil, unfragranced elite superfood, 21 ingredients inside it, and very, very good for anyone that's sensitive, irritated, dehydrated, or got any dry patches. Okay, back to me. So, does anyone have any questions on body oils so far? We'll see if anyone's got any questions. Remembering, obviously, that you've got them on your trolleys, you've got them decanting from the bigger bottles so that you are saving packaging. And now we know that you'll be able to open up very soon the ability to retail them in any of the aromas that you used on people. Now, in terms of how you select the body oil, different properties will do different things, whether you want them to sniff all the oils. But I want to explain an efficient way that Proverb has designed this to happen. We really like the idea of choosing the oil being quick, because you know, when your clients come into the treatment room, they just want to get in the bed before you turn around and they're already trying to take their clothes off because they want you to start. And so what we realized is that we maybe need just a quick way. They might not want to smell 4 oils. And so what we have made for you is 4 cards, and they each have a single sentence on them. And they are the sentences, the reasons why we think someone comes to the spa. So one of them says, I can't sleep. One of them says, I'm stressed. One of them says, I have too much to do. And the other one says, I just can't stay well. And our idea is that they read them and they pick the card that is most likely, sounds most like them. Now, if they say to you, oh, that's all of them, I'm all of those things, then you have to say, no, you've got to pick one. And whichever card they pick is one of your oils. So if you haven't written these down already, I would write them, I'll say them slowly. So I can't sleep is your recovery oil. So if they can't sleep, it's recovery oil.
Recovery.
So can't sleep, I'll put these into the chat as well. So can't sleep equals recovery. If they are stressed, we would use longevity.
Longevity.
Yeah, longevity, which is the sweet orange. If they can't stay well, as in they keep getting poorly, they keep getting sick or ill, then we would use defense. And the last one, if they have too much to do, we would use performance, which is the spicy ginger, black pepper, and frankincense. I've just written those into the chat for you. And then what it means is they pick their one sentence. I will take that one oil, put it on their hand, and let them smell it. And then I will read their body language. You will know if they like it, job done. Get on the bed, we can start massaging. If you see them hesitate and you think, I'm not sure that they definitely love that smell, then just introduce one more. So show them the one that is most similar in your opinion, or the smell, another smell. And that saves you time of having to get them to look at all of the oils. So it's an optional way of being really efficient and adding in something interesting, because there's a different way to do it. We've all grown up in a spa industry that's very common to have to sniff oils and do like an oil ceremony of taking them all in. This is quite different. It's a more interesting way to do it. Some of you may do this already, some of you may not. If you do want to start doing it, then ask Michaela or Sarah or Britt, because we have the artwork for the cards. The card has the sentence on the front, and then on the back of the card, very helpfully for us, for the therapists, it tells us exactly what's in the bottle. It's like a little cheat sheet of telling us the benefits of the essential oil, so we can then explain those to them. So what we've done so far today then, we've concentrated on body oil, looking at cold pressed versus refined. We've revised the 4 Proverb oils and the essential oil blends. And then I've introduced to you a 5th oil, which is the Elite Superfood, which has no fragrance. And then we've also had to think about a different way to get people to choose the oils, and getting them to choose their sentence that's the feeling they most have right now. And then you've been the first to see the fact that very shortly, we'll have retail options for all of the body oils in the sustainable organic cotton bags and the elite superfood. So the sites that are here that do facial as well, that elite superfood at retail should hopefully be very, very useful, because when we do our skin workout, which is our huge, big lifting facial, our red carpet facial, we do the massage with that elite superfood. And it's such an obvious product to retail after as well. And then you also know that anywhere on anyone's body that they've got any dry patches, that you could be putting that to. And then lastly, we started to talk a little bit about organic. So if you haven't written this already, on your notes, if you can put organic equals. Now, to be an organic ingredient, you have to be grown. So grown is the very, very important word. You have to be grown by a human. There are some things that are completely natural, like water, but because they were not grown by a human, not controlled production by a human, then they class as 100% organic. Sorry, wrong, ignore that entirely. They class as 100% natural. The other good examples of things that can't be organic, so water cannot be organic. Sea salt. So if you have our body focused salt scrub, we have in that lots of dead sea salts and Himalayan mineral crystals. They were not grown by a human. The earth produced those, the sea produced those. So they are 100% natural, but they are not organic. So sea salt, Himalayan mineral crystals, water sit in the natural camp, not the organic camp. And it's really important to know that, because so many skincare brands try and tell you that everything is organic. And that is just not possible. If they're doing it properly with the correct organic certification, that is not true. And remember, the word proverb means truth. It means statements of truth. So when someone says to you, oh, this is completely organic, little alarm bells want to ring in your head, and you should be thinking, really? If it's an oil, a pure oil, then yes, it could be. But as soon as it looks like cream, soon as it looks like cream or moisturizer, that has got to have water in it. That is oil and water blended together. So that water we know is not organic. And when something grows organically, just remember and write down soil. I know it's not very glamorous. It's not the beautiful, glamorous spas we all work in, but the soil, the ground, the mud, the soil is the key to all of this. The health of that soil and what goes into the soil affects how that plant grows, and what is sucked up from the roots, from the soil, and goes into the plant and the leaves and the fruit. What is it? What is going onto the soil? And do you want it inside your ingredient? And this is exactly the same when you head off to the supermarket and you stand and you look at organic carrots or not organic carrots. It's exactly the same as food. And so one of the things I would really try and encourage you to do when you're doing Proverb treatments is, and selling people Proverb products, is to try and get them to think about the bottles like food. How has it been grown? Where are the ingredients grown? Okay, right then. Now, before we finish up, I have 3 quiz questions. Get your fingers ready. If there's a group of you in one property, I would make sure that just one of you is going to type. And if you be really honest of who actually got the answer correct, and I'm going to ask you a question, and then it's going to be the first person to write in the chat box what the answer is. So question 1, I want the 3 base oils that make the Proverb massage oils that you are using for treatment. There are 3 seed oils inside them. We asked you to remember 3 seed oils. Can anyone remember what they are?
Who's typing the quickest?
Okay, I know one of you just fell in and out, so we're just doing the quiz questions. The first question is the 3 seed oils. So Abigail says apricot, sunflower, and jojoba.
Yeah.
Ida, you're a winner. Perfect. So Sarah's going to write these down and then we'll organize you a little proverb present to arrive. So we know that we've got apricot, vitamin A, sunflower, vitamin E, jojoba mimicking the sebum. Okay, right then. Next question. The signature scent for Proverb is defense. The smell I can't stay well, and it has 4 essential oils in it for defense. What are those 4 essential oils? C. We've got a wild mint, eucalyptus, geranium, and lavender. Second winner.
Abigail again.
I often find sometimes this happens as well. We need to pick a question team that the rest of us, someone we've got to beat her now. You've got a quest. Okay, so last one then. When the beauty industry makes refined oil, so this is the not good one, the refined oil, tell me 2 things that they do to it that ideally just wouldn't happen. 2 of the processes. What happens to it that takes away all its nutrients? We'll see if Abigail gets a hat trick.
Miss Kirsty, can you repeat the question, please?
Perfect, of course I can. So when we were looking at the refined oil process, so this is the bad way, in my opinion, of producing oil. So how they mass produce oil, and they do some very odd things to it to make the big yields and to make it look clear and to make it have no smell. What are the things that they are doing to it? What were the things I said they were doing to the oil to make it refined? Don't worry if nobody gets this, I can tell you and we can pick another one. I also know that everyone's always doing this in second languages, which I always think is amazing. Okay, I'll tell you the answer to this one. So when they're refining the oils, they heat it so it becomes super high heat, bleaching it and deodorizing it. Okay. I don't know who said that first, Abigail, whether it was me or you. Okay, one last quick question then. One last quick question. Does Elite Superfood have any fragrance in it or not? So yes or no, this one. Easier to type.
No. No fragrance at all.
No. Okay, Abigail was the one answered all of 3.
And I think there's 2 of you there as well, isn't there? Men's there as well. Men's there as well.
Yeah.
So they've cleared up. Now, anyone here, particularly Yasmin, that's got facial land as well, I'm doing a masterclass later today in England for the English sites, and I'm going to talk a bit more about both moisturizers and how we sell the moisturizers. And I'm also going to do a bit of practical on doing the skin workout when someone's got a massive beard. So what I'll do is I'll also send that recording to Sarah and Britt, because it'll be really useful for anyone that's got facials as well. So you get a double bonus off me today. Perfect. Anyone that wants to stay on and ask any questions, do so. If you need to run away for treatments, it is 11. So, well, it's not 11, it's 2 there. So hurry up. But thank you so much for joining. It's always really lovely to see you and to try and help add to that knowledge.